What up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 4 in my 13th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. I'm about to head out to Cinema Wasteland in Ohio to meet up with the boy Moods and Tyler and Tony and Dave Parker and Carly will be with me, and Mason, and all the crew, all the 22 Shots crew. I think Dave Z's even going to be there. So, had to get these videos recorded early. If you're going to be there, let me know. I guess you'll probably see this afterwards then. But anyway, for day number 4, I decided to go with Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, from the year 1984. It's the 13th annual 31 Days of Horror. I felt like it was only right to do at least one Friday the 13th. And I went back and looked, and I had reviewed 1, 2, and 3 previously. So we went with Part 4, which happens to also be my favorite one. But I feel like it's like, 2, 4, and 5 all kind of, are my favorites. And 6 now, too. But anyway, Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, which we all know was not the final chapter. I actually saw this back in August at the drive-in, which was pretty cool for Camp Blood in Mahoning. Camp Blood 10, they showed Friday the 13th 1 through 10, which I think the only one we ended up leaving early after Part 8 on Sunday, but, I've seen Jason Goes to Hell at the drive-in before. Anyway, so Friday the 13th Part 4, it is such a good Friday the 13th, first of all. It basically takes place right after Part 3. Jason's body is taken to a morgue. And I like that this one starts off that way. It's just really cool, how they take Jason's body, like the camera zooms in on his body in the barn, and they take him to the morgue, and then there's like this, the workers there who are sort of disrespectful to the dead, obviously eating, putting sandwiches on the body and stuff like that, and trying to hook up. It honestly kind of reminds me a little bit of like Halloween 2 in that moment, because it's like kind of like a hospital type thing. But so Jason, kills them, and then we meet a couple of different characters. So this one's cool because we have a group of teenagers who are going out to a cabin at Camp Crystal Lake, and there's a few different ones. Most notably is Crispin Glover's character, who is this is pre-Back to the Future, I believe. Yeah, this is pre-Back to the Future? Yeah, Back to the Future was 85, I think. So, not quite as huge yet, but just definitely, like, even as a kid watching this, I always felt like Crispin Glover was, like, he felt like he was, like the most, like, interesting / unique character out of the ones that are here. Out of the friend groups, like, he just seemed different, and so they're going out to the cabin at Camp Crystal Lake, and then meanwhile, the thing that I like about this movie is they introduce a kid, for one, but two, like, there's another group of people, the Jarvis family, who also live on the lake, which is pretty cool. So you have Tina, Tommy, who is sort of modeled after Tom Savini, because Tom Savini did return to do the effects in Part 4 after being away in Part 2 and 3. But Tommy Jarvis is played by Corey Feldman, and he's, I don't know, I think he's supposed to be like 12 in the movie. I'm not really sure. But he is like an effects artist, like he's into making masks and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Sort of modeled after Tom Savini, and Tommy Jarvis, Tom Savini. But he is you know, a younger kid, and that's a cool idea to sort of throw a kid into the mix, and also just to make Crystal Lake feel like more lived in, you know, spending time with a different, like a residence of Crystal Lake and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that like part 2 and 3 and 4 all take place like on the same like couple days, like Friday, Saturday, and like Sunday or something of the same weekend. So it's kind of which brings me to my next character, which is what the hell is his name? Is it Todd? Todd? I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that's looking for his sister who was killed off in part 3, I believe. But he treats it as if she has been missing for a really long time, but she wouldn't be, because it's kind of a plot hole a little bit. But anyway, back to the Jarvis family. I like that they are, like, you have this family dynamic, and then you have this group of kids, and they sort of intersect eventually. But the group of kids, like, you have Ted and these like 2 twin girls they meet, which are also like residents of like the area, and there's like, you know, good bit of nudity, and everybody's hooking up, and you have Tommy Jarvis who's like spying on them, and you know, there's a scene in his room where he's like looking across the way and sees one of the girls like undressing in her room, and he like starts like getting all excited and like jumping up and down and stuff. Dude, that reminded me so much of like being a kid. Like, I would do some shit like that, you know? So pretty cool accurate portrayal of like a kid seeing boobs, you know? But yeah, the kills are pretty good in this one too. Even like there's a couple off-screen kills. Well, one in particular that's like in a rainstorm where like a lightning flashes and you sort of see like the shadows. That I've always loved that kill. There is the famous "Where's the Corkscrew" kill with Crispin Glover. Yeah, there's some decent kills. Oh, the one with the guy in the lake with the, you know, holding like harpooning him. That one's pretty good. And of course we have Jason looking pretty cool in this one as well. He's breaking doors and windows and stuff like that. He's a little bit more. The guy who plays him in this one is Ted White, which is probably one of the better Jasons. I think it's a lot of people's favorite. It's still that like human-ish Jason, but he seems like more of like a, like he has a little more personality than he did in part 3, and it's kind of more badass. So yeah, probably one of my favorite Jasons. You know, up there, I think Kane Hodder is my favorite. I know that's kind of a cliche answer, but it's true. And then I like C.J. Graham as well. Probably Ted White. Those are probably my favorites. But yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. One of my absolute favorite Friday the 13ths. Love this movie to death. And I watched it last night. Like, I just watched it in August, and I was like, let's review Friday the 13th, Part 4. And I could have just reviewed it off of that viewing, but I was like, I felt like watching it, so I watched it again. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to give it like an 8.5, no, 9. 9 out of 10 on Friday the 13th, Part 4. Absolutely awesome. Alright, with that said, I'll see you guys next time with another review. Peace.